Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
Hello.
Columbus Farmer, how are you today?
I'm really good because it's cool. It feels good out here.
I got my jacket over here.
I know you do.
And I think you're going to need yours in a lot.
I
bet you $1.
Fire's nice.
Because you like it warm.
I do.
Anyhow, we like to cook outside. We got a heat source here, a heat source here. And then a lot of people say, well, I don't know if I can do that. Heat is heat.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in the oven, whether it's on the ground, whether it's over here, whether it's over there, heat is heat. We're going to do several recipes tonight. Good stuff. What's that, Nikki?
Rutabaga.
Rutabaga. Now, I never really thought too much about rutabaga. This is one of those things that you heard about when you were a kid.
Right.
You kind of think about it like you think about rhubarb. It's an exotic.
Yeah, what do you do with
there.
it?
But then I started thinking about rutabaga. What is a rutabaga? It's a hybrid. It's a cross between cabbage and a turnip. Now, I like cabbage and I like turnips.
Me too.
So when Mac sent us rutabagas, I thought, we're going to do something
Gotta
about
use
rutabaga.
them. That's right.
And you know what? So we tried several things. We tried boiling them down. And when you boil them down, if you're in an enclosed environment, you can really smell the cabbage smell. And if you like cabbage, and we love cabbage, it's just a very unique, wonderful root vegetable. Now, back in World War I, World War II in Germany and Russia, that was kind of their last ditch food.
Oh, really?
When everything else was gone. And I even heard about prisoners of war. They would take off, they would just get the peelings and they would cook them down as soup.
Really?
And that was all they got. But thank goodness, because of everything that's in there, the vitamins, the minerals, the potassium, the manganese, everything that you need to stay alive is in that little dude right there.
Well, I tried it when we boiled it down. I thought it tasted pretty good. It was interesting.
And
Different.
the smell and the texture is absolutely delicious. So we're going to take 2 parts rutabaga and 1 part potato and make something special. But when you're cooking outside and you're stacking and you've got your heat sources, you got to think about your timing.
Right.
Okay. You know how long it takes to cook your dessert. If you're going to do a dessert, and we are tonight, you got to know how long it's going to take your entree. And then you have to think about your sides. So we have been boiling our rutabaga and our potatoes for almost an hour now.
It took an hour to get those good, yeah.
Now we've got it set up on the snake a little bit off to the side. So that's kind of done. So the next thing we need to do is get something going in the skillet. What's that?
We're going to do dessert, and that's going to take about 40 minutes, so we need to get it going.
We need to get it going because
That's right.
you know what? It's getting darker.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, let's roll. What do you do here?
Well, actually, I've been seeing pictures of all these desserts where they do everything and twirl it and do all this stuff. So I'm like, I want to do something like that. But you kind of helped me design. This is kind of like a cinnamon roll, but with apples in it. And you gave me a couple ingredients to throw in there. So we're going to actually make a kind of pretty dessert.
And you're kind of seeing these outfall. Everybody's got a kind of recipe kind of like
Just
this.
make it look like a huge cinnamon roll in a pot.
So we tried it to see if it was any good.
You liked it,
And
didn't you?
was.
Yeah, you liked
really
it.
good. So let's get started.
Let's start. So first thing we're going to do, I have just 3 apples.
All right.
And I got my handy dandy little apple. You can't live without this. We're going to do 3 of them. We're going to peel them. And I'm going to slice them even thinner, actually.
All right, what's next?
All right, so we got our apple pieces. I'm going to actually make these a little bit thinner. Cut them in like halves so we can.
So they cook quicker?
Yeah, they'll cook up a little quicker. Some of them I
This
made.
is simple but delicious. And I mean, it's not anything extraordinary, but it works well in the outdoors. Works good in a 10-inch pan. And it's just basically your cinnamon and your fall, all your fall stuff.
And it's apple time. It's time for
A
apples.
little bit of ginger from our soft drink over here.
It's time to do stuff with apples.
And rutabagas.
That's right.
How do you spell rutabaga?
Ruta, so R-U-D-A.
T.
And then B-E-G-G-A. Your rutabaga, like your rutabaga.
Rutabaga, B-A-G-A.
I'm joking.
Rutabaga.
I always was first
Spell
down.
rutabaga 10 times as fast as you can.
Nope.
Rutabaga.
I was always first down in the spelling bee, don't ask me.
First down in spelling bee?
Yes, I
was
never-
8th grade spelling bee champion.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
My brother and I
won
can-
$10.
Did you see? We can't spell, and our parents are English teachers. Neither of us can spell.
so proud.
We did it on purpose because they drove us crazy. So we got all these.
Smells good.
Yeah, I have 3 apples here, so and we're making just a smaller pot, just for me and you.
Look at my charcoal. It's looking good over there.
All right, now what we're going to do is cook down these apples. So I'm going to throw in 4 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and then a 1/4 cup of our pecans and a 1/4 cup of raisins, and then top it off with probably about a 1/4 cup of L8. And now we're going to let that kind of cook down for about 10 minutes until the apples get kind of soft. It's not mushy, just kind of soft.
All right, now, just a simple dough. Is it a sweet dough?
It kind of is sweet, and it's got buttermilk in it, and I'm using lard.
Our lard.
Yes, our lard.
So you've kind of let the lard get room temperature?
I did let it get room temperature.
Now apples are cooking down. So kind of tell us how this dough is made. Quick and easy on the dough.
There's 4 ingredients. It's so easy. So I have 1 1/4 cups of flour and 1 tablespoon of sugar in my dry ingredients already mixed. And I've taken 2 tablespoons of the lard we made, and I've let it kind of set and get a little bit, see how it's a little gooey? Because I'm going to add 1/2 cup of buttermilk to that. I'm just going to pour it in and stir it until it looks like I need to get my hands in there. I'm just going to knead it by hand a little bit here. And the dough actually tastes pretty good. I know you don't like to taste dough, but it's kind of good. See what we got here? We don't want to mix it up too much either. Just kind of, because now we want to, I know it's kind of messy with the flour. And we're going to start with about half of this. All right, see we have this little mixture here. And what this is cinnamon, sugar. I have a little powdered sugar and a little brown sugar in it. So instead of flour, when you roll out your dough, you got to make it sweet, right?
This is going to absorb it.
Yeah, it's going to help us. Because we're just going to roll this out enough just to make some strips.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, so see, this is my flour. You like my flour?
I'd eat that all day long.
The dough's pretty good. So we're kind of making like a cinnamon roll.
Do you know this weather right here makes me think about deer hunting? When's the last time we ate all our venison up? When's the last time we had a venison recipe on?
We need to do that. That sounds
cheapest
good.
meat in Kentucky.
Yes. I'm just going to cut the edge off. Now what we're going to do is just cut little strips here. And they can be any size you want, but I'll make mine all about the same. And now what I'm going to do is layer these in the pan, kind of in a circle. And then we're going to drop some of the apples and the pecans and stuff in there. And then we're going to do another layer. So we're going to kind of make it look like a cinnamon roll. We're going to twirl it up just so it looks pretty. All right, now we're going to take what we had left over that we cooked the apples in and just pour that over the top. So we got a little bit more pecans and butter. And that's some of our sugar mixture that I was putting on the dough. It's the powdered sugar. There's a little bit of brown sugar, regular sugar, and cinnamon in that. I want to squeeze a little bit of lemon on that too. Remember, you gotta always have some lemon juice on there. That's what makes it good. That's Grandma's secret.
I like Grandma.
Grandma's secret. And I think it's ready.
What temperature?
350, and let's go 30 minutes and see how it looks.
All right, what's 350 in a 10-inch pan?
14 and 7.
The coffee queen is back. Now you know what? You are the kind of the taste meister. You have all these interesting tastes that you bring into coffee. Coffee is always good.
Yeah.
But why not take it and make it fantastically beautiful? And that's what you've been doing. Last time you were here, we had ice cream for breakfast.
Yes.
Now, if you want to flavor your coffee, which a lot of people do, you're going to tell us today about a simple syrup or simple syrups that you can make. And how do you do that?
Okay, you're going to take 1 cup of water.
Okay.
And 1 cup of sugar.
Equal parts.
Equal parts, and bring that to a boil and reduce to half of the content.
Gotcha. So that's going to thicken that up, make it nice and tasty. Then what do you do?
Okay, you can add cinnamon, you can add brown sugar, you can add a little vanilla extract.
So how much would you put in there?
About a teaspoon of the extracts.
Gotcha.
Brown sugar I would do about 1/4 of a cup.
Gotcha.
And about a teaspoon of cinnamon for the Snickerdoodle.
So once again, I absolutely love the fact that these things that you do are so simple, so quick and easy. There's no thought process here. Just boom, simple. And talk about storage. These will last for a while. How would you store these?
You can store them in an airtight container.
Okay.
For up to a month.
Up to a month. So anytime you want to pour some out right into your coffee, boom, you're good to go.
Yes.
And I suppose that along with cream or whatever you want to do, oh man, that's why we like talking to you.
Thank you.
So next step, we need our starch.
That's right.
So 2 parts rutabaga, 1 part potato.
That's right.
You're going to cut this just like you would if you were going to mash potatoes. And what the end result is going to be here is we're going to take these and we're going to boil them. Now these take a little longer than potatoes.
They do, and they're harder to peel, a little bit harder.
A little harder to peel. So take that into account. Cut them up just like you'd cut up potatoes. And it takes them about an hour if you just put them on a boil and sit back and watch them. We've had them cooking for over an hour and they're nice and soft. And the smell is fantastic.
It is.
You know, everybody's had potatoes and that's all fine and good, but you add it and mix it up a little bit. And you don't get the big bite you get with turnips. But let's go ahead and peel some of these. 2 to 1, rutabagas, potato. And again, here's what I peeled rutabaga.
And it was harder to peel. You notice, and there it's tougher. It's harder to cut
It's dense.
through too.
It's
Yes,
a very dense
not like a
material.
potato.
But the smell,
Yeah,
I love
delicious.
it. Absolutely love it.
It does smell good.
Rutabagas, you can't beat them. All right, now, here's what they look like when they're done. All right, so now I'm just gonna mash, just like you'd mash potatoes.
It smells really good.
Doesn't it though? Man, isn't it the absolute perfect fall day?
Yeah, it is.
Now, you notice if you compare the rutabaga to the potato, they've got an orange color that kind of comes out.
Like a carrot color, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Man, do you smell that?
It smells
This
good.
might be my new favorite thing in the world.
How about a big old,
Big old dollop of sour cream.
one more than that?
I don't care.
Just maybe one
you
more?
can't hardly
That'll be
overdo
kind of
it.
like our milk. You know what you need?
Butter.
Some butter.
Need some butter.
How about half a stick of butter? What do you think?
That sounds good.
Give you little pieces here. Salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper.
Gotta have pepper.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do with our potatoes. We're gonna take these off. We're gonna put them into our well-oiled pan. We're gonna put them 350. Then at the very last minute, just for about 15, 20 minutes, the very last minute, we're gonna put a lot of heat on top. We're gonna pull the top off. We're gonna put some cheese and chives on top, and then we are ready to roll. All right, now we've got our 12-inch pan over here, over the fire, getting hot.
Right.
Okay. Now normally we would stack this stuff. The dessert's done. We want it to be cool, and
Right.
we're gonna put some nice little drizzle over the top of it. Our potatoes are almost done. Now, when I've taken up, I don't want any more heat on the bottom. Now what I want to do is brown the top.
Okay.
So I have laid it off on the ground and just gonna cook the top of it.
Okay.
And it's gone about 15 minutes. That's about all it needs.
Yeah.
So back to the salmon. Do you remember when we went to Alaska? We're catching salmon and eating it raw.
Delicious.
Right off the
Oh,
boat.
yeah.
Nothing like it. First thing we do is just drizzle a little bit of olive oil over this.
Yum.
Then we put some salt, some pepper. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of poach these. Now you remember when I did my ribs and I used the onions as kind of a rack?
And then they tasted
And
delicious.
do you remember how much moisture we retained?
Yeah, I do
because we
remember
had, gonna kind of do the same thing here. So we're gonna do a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper,
Right.
and just a tiny bit of lemon pepper. And then we're gonna squeeze some lemon on there.
That seems simple.
Very simple. But what are we gonna do with our pan over here, our 12-inch pan? After we put the lemon on that, oh, this
Yummy.
is so good. Now we're gonna need a hot pan here, about 400 degrees.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and put a third a cup chicken broth, a third a cup of white wine in that pan over there. All right, so we've got our juice going. We've got our moisture going.
Yum.
All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a rack, and we'll use onions for that.
Okay. So cut off the edges, right?
Kind of make a little flat spot on the
Righty.
bottom. And just cut that straight in half.
Right in the middle.
All right, what we're doing is building a rack. Now this will not only flavor them, that'll keep them up off of the actual moisture. All right, so there's our rack. Now skin side down, we're gonna take our salmon, we're gonna lay in here on our rack.
Yum.
See what I'm saying?
What a good idea. I like your rack. I love it. I love the rack.
So now again, we don't want to overcook this. So what we're gonna do, we already got some heat in the pan. So I'm gonna take it over here. So now we're gonna take our 12-inch pan, and you see, we've kind of gone a step above. We're not using the briquettes tonight, but if you were doing briquettes, it would be 19 and 10. 19 on top, 10 on the bottom. We want some heat tonight because this is gonna cook fairly quickly. 14 minutes maximum. Our potatoes should be done. Look at that.
Yum. That looks delicious.
As we're gonna take our cheese,
Make it even more delicious.
and we're gonna take some of our crispy fried onions, put those on top. You kidding me?
Yum.
Look at that.
That looks really good.
Now we're gonna take some chives.
Yummy. I could eat
Just
just that
like that.
for dinner. That's a great dinner.
You could eat just that for dinner. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna put the top back on. I'm gonna keep this warm because the salmon doesn't take that long. In order to make our wonderful dill sauce for this recipe, let's say we're gonna use about 2 tablespoons, because it's just us, of sour cream,
Okay.
2 tablespoons
Mayonnaise.
of mayonnaise,
Yum.
a little bit of horseradish, not a lot.
Yum.
I'd say about 1/3 of a tablespoon, and a little bit, I love this stuff,
You do.
It's a spicy, sweet and spicy mustard. It's not that spicy, it's more sweet.
I love this sauce.
And some dill. You
yeah.
can use dry or fresh, and I'd say probably that much.
Okay.
Which is exactly a half a teaspoon.
Is it really? Okay.
And then I'm gonna put just a little bit more because it's
I'll
in
use
there.
it up.
Which is now 3/4 of a teaspoon.
Huh.
Now look at that.
Makes it pretty. Let me try
That's
it.
just enough to put on top.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
You can squeeze a little bit of lemon there too.
That's
if you
really
want.
delicious.
But that's going to be our sauce to put over top of our poached salmon, which is cooking away rapidly.
I'm Lardo,
And I'm Burley,
and we're the Moron Brothers. Got a frog in my throat. My grandfather's clock was too tall for the shelf, so it stood many years on the floor. It was taller by far than the old man himself, though it weighed not a penny weight more. It was bought on the morn of the day that he was born, and always his treasure and pride. But it stopped once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died. 90 years without slumbering, life's seconds numbering. It stopped once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died. In watching its pendulum swing to and fro, many hours he spent as a boy. And in childhood and manhood the clock seemed to know, and share in his grief and his joy. It struck 24 when he walked through the door with a blooming and beautiful bride. Then it stopped once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died. 90 years without slumbering, life's seconds numbering. Stop once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died. It rang an alarm in the dead of night, an alarm that for years had been dumb. And we knew that his soul was plummeting on its flight, his hour of departure had come. Still the clock kept its time with a soft and muffled chime. We silently stood by its side. Then it stopped once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died. 90 years without slumbering, life's seconds numbering. It stopped once, never to run again, on the day that the old man died.
Yum.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's really
We're not going to have dry fish tonight. Look at that.
It looks amazing.
Beautiful.
I want some of that on that.
Now, I will never give a restaurant a bad review because anybody can have a bad night.
Right.
But not too long ago, we went to a national chain, and I got the salmon on the plank, And I'm not sure which was the driest.
The plain for
actual
the
salmon.
salmon. Yeah, that was bad.
But you know what? Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh.
Look at this. Look when you do that, there's moisture that's
Yeah.
coming out of there.
I can't
You
wait.
see that? I'm gonna take a little bit of our dill sauce.
Yum.
Look right there.
I'm ready.
Now look at that. You know, this is wonderful. Now you can do this inside in your oven. We have done this. We ate this. We got hooked on this, and we ate this what? Twice a week
Oh, it
for a
was
long
awful.
time.
In our roaster oven. I gotta
So
try
we got
it.
our omega-3s.
I'm gonna try.
This only went 12 minutes.
Oh, that is so
12
good.
minutes.
And I'm starving. This is perfect. Oh, wow. That's good. I like that.
That's really good.
Yes, it
Now,
is.
before it starts raining on our heads, the rutabaga, twice baked rutabaga.
Wow. I like that. Thanksgiving, I'm sticking rutabaga in the mashed potatoes. What do you think? That is really good.
Is that not unique?
It's so good.
Don't ever limit yourself. Don't even think, well, I'm not going to try that.
Oh, your dill sauce is so good. I could just eat the dill sauce. Wow, you outdid yourself.
Thanksgiving?
I want to put that rutabaga in the mashed potatoes. Let's try that for everybody. See if they even know what it is.
Wow, you just get a little bit of that bite that you get in a turnip.
Yeah.
It was not supposed to rain today. You know what? We got to hurry because we got to try our dessert real quick.
right.
Let's make your little icing. What's
Sounds
in your
good.
icing?
My icing, all I did was take powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and I'm adding whipping cream to it instead of water.
How much vanilla? Just a
Probably,
tad.
yeah, about just like a tablespoon or whatever. I'm just gonna add this. Want some of that on there?
Perfect, perfect. Oh, look at that.
All right, there's your cinnamon roll with apples.
Before it rains, let's take
Take a
bite.
taste.
Oh,
That's good.
that's not our best presentation ever.
I know, but it was delicious.
So if you would like to find out more about our recipes, we have 20 gazillion of them. Where would you go to find recipes?
I go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
800 gabillion recipes
right.
over there. Got a couple more for you tonight that we'll be adding to there very shortly. After we air the show on television, we post these on YouTube. And guess what? You can get all these for yourself. Now, if you're not a Facebook friend, what are you waiting on? What do you got to do to be
They
a
need
Facebook
to hit
friend?
like.
It's really hard.
Hit like.
Hit like. Boom, you're in. We can talk, we share recipes. It's all kinds of fun. But meanwhile,
It's
this
raining.
rain was not supposed to be. I'm going to be a weatherman because you can get it wrong and still get paid.
That's right.
So it's not supposed to rain, but it's not supposed to raining all over us right now.
That's right.
So it's all about
Good times
good friends.
and good
We'll
eats.
see you next week with a brand new Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Hopefully sunshiny skies.
Yeah, yum.
Let me trust this too.
To order a cookbook, email timfarmerck@gmail.com.